Good morning. Good morning from the Divine Fellowship Home Edition versus slash Empty Church Edition.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we decided to do it here just because it's
we can.
Easter.
It's
Easter.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, it doesn't look too bad. We looked at it beforehand. Hey, look at my eye. It's better. It's much better. It's been a week. It should be better. Still got a great big lump right here, though. Dang.
Ouchies.
Of course, that's okay. The dog's right into my
And
leg.
I'm so sorry for the empaths in the audience, because you're going to look at his eye and go, oh, and it feels awful. Just breathe through that. That's all part of being an empath. It's his journey. He gets to have it. Let him have it. Okay. So,
we're just rambling right at the moment to let people sign in, because we always say 10-ish. When we start our church at 10-ish, it's usually about quarter after or something like that. Yeah.
We don't like rules.
No,
and so
we
don't like it's got to be a certain thing. So 10-ish.
Well, which is one reason why, let's see, you can't see it from there. Oh, there it is right there. Somebody's just walking in. Somebody's walking in. Oh, hello.
Hi there. Social distancing way over there, please.
I just got through talking about an empty church, and we actually had 2 people come in. In fact, the 2 lovely people that actually donated the plants back here, the lilies. Aren't those nice?
Joe and Sue.
Yeah. Hey, Joe and Sue.
Welcome, Joe and Sue.
We have, but we've got a little statue back here. Everyone,
stop.
Joe, stop. She didn't know anybody came in.
She was chewing.
She was chewing.
Get down.
Good grief. We brought our dog, obviously, so we didn't know anybody was going to be here.
Big mistake.
Hey.
She'll settle it. Ignore her and she'll go away.
But anyway, this is not a Buddha. Okay? Jan posted a picture of this on Facebook, and we've had some interesting comments. This is not a Buddha. This actually is a statue of Jesus meditating.
It's just
a thing. It's a statue. Okay? So
we don't worship it.
No.
I thought it was clever.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Jesus. So. And I had some little lights, so I put a light in the heart space and a light in its hands. So you probably can't see from there, but there it is.
And actually, we're gonna, since we're still waiting for people to sign in and kind of get around, we are going to try to show you a couple of things at the church.
Hopefully, things won't freeze up.
Oh, here. Why don't you show the Odette?
That's a tapestry made by Odette Grassi, the 3 angels. Isn't that pretty?
Did that for us a long time ago. Let's see. We've got a mural.
That was done by Kelly Winninger several years ago after we had that wall repaired because it was falling off.
I hope people can hear you when you're talking from over there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So anyway, that was all. We just kind of wanted to show that.
We have other stuff. We'll do it another day.
We do have other stuff. I don't know if the stained glass will show up or not. Oops. Nope, just a whitewash.
Okay, another time.
All right. Okay.
Another time. Okay, so glary there.
Okay, yes. All right.
So it's really weird to have an audience.
We weren't expecting an audience, so.
But welcome. Enjoy yourself. No, you're fine. No, you're going to leave in a minute? Oh.
No,
it's fine. Hit it.
All right. Anyway, good morning. We have got, yes.
Jesus is just all right with me.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Since we are the only church in the universe that starts our church services with Jesus just all right by the Doobie Brothers, except when we're live and they won't let us do that.
Well, I don't know if they do or not. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. So if someone could tell us if we could actually do this on Facebook, we know we can't do it on YouTube. So, but we don't know.
Since it's translated over to YouTube, we're just.
I don't know.
Just think
so
in your head.
Anyway, think in your head. Go listen to it on the radio. Whatever.
There we go.
Radio? Ooh, boy, that ages me. Okay. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're actually in Richland, Washington, which is where the church facility is. It's a gorgeous day, sunny. It's going to be beautiful. Very little, just a slight breeze today. A beautiful Easter Sunday.
Yes, it will. So,
t-shirts and sweatshirts that you may want to order and buy, but you might not want to wear. But whatever. Here's some. There's got kitty cats all over it. It says, "Cats are like potato chips. It's hard to only have one." True.
Unless you have one like ours.
Well, yeah. And we normally we have a church cat. We always have had a church cat. 22 years, we've always had a church cat. And fortunately, though, she's being taken care of by Mary. Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
She has her own little ministry that Mary has a bunch of people coming into church and taking care of the cat. And we are so grateful.
Day, yes.
We're so grateful. And so is the cat.
But we can have lilies because there's no cat.
True.
Lilies
That's true.
and cats don't mix.
That's true. Another t-shirt. Music. It's my happy place. And another one. Just remember, if we get caught, you're deaf and I don't speak English. So, ooh, a laugh from the audience. See, this is the tough part by not having anybody in the church. I can tell the goofiest jokes and get this wild applause and yay, that's really silly, Phil. And then I tell other ones that I thought were really funny and it's just crickets. So,
And when it's just us, it's just crickets.
Yeah, it is. It is. So anyway, and one more, exercise. I thought you said extra fries. So, all right. And we do have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon.
Yay, George and John.
Yay, George and John. We did meet George and told him, and he thought we were nuts, but that's okay. And John said, you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Yay, John. Hopefully. And George, equally as introspective, what was the best thing before sliced bread?
A dog eating tissue.
A dog eating tissue. She
What's in
grabbed
your mouth?
tissue out of one of the box. So that's the pleasures of having a puppy. So, okay.
You can be taken to the
this is things that happened back in the 1500s, and where some of the sayings we have now actually came from. Baths consisted of a big tub filled with hot water. Yeah. The man of the house had the privilege of the nice clean water. Then all of the sons and men, then the women, and finally the children. Last of all were the babies. By then the water was so dirty you could actually lose someone in it. Ugh. Hence the saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. See, I told you, you learn stuff when you come to church. You definitely learn things. And here's some church bulletins where they have misspellings. So this evening at 7 p.m. there will be a hymn singing in the park across from the church. Bring a blanket and be prepared to sin. Probably not what it was supposed to have been. So, ladies' Bible study will be held Thursday morning at 10 a.m. All ladies are invited to lunch in the membership hall after the BS is done. Bible study. Yeah. I assume people do that. So, the pastor would appreciate it if the ladies of the congregation would lend him their electric girdles for the pancake breakfast next Sunday. Probably a misspelling. Just guessing. Just guessing, though.
electric girdles doesn't sound good.
Electric girdles. No, it doesn't sound good. And this information is a few years old, so it may not be entirely accurate, but it probably gives you a good idea. According to the United Nations University study, roughly 1.8 tons of raw material are required to manufacture the average desktop PC and monitor. 528 pounds of fossil fuels, 48 pounds of chemicals, and 3,300 pounds of water. The total amount of materials used is about equal to the weight of a mid-sized car. Woo-hoo. I forgot to do these last week. Had them, forgot to do them. What can I say?
Could have forgotten that last one.
Well, I know. Oh, yeah. This is William Shakespeare. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Dog is being ridiculous.
You just push her down.
Yeah, just push her down. All professional men are handicapped by not being allowed to ignore things which are useless. We should rather examine who is better learned than who is more learned. Normally at this time I ask people in the audience if there's anything going on or church or whatever, but we can't do that because we have two people here.
There's nothing going on.
There's nothing
going
on.
Stay home. Stay safe.
Our annual 20th annual expo that we normally put on was canceled that was like supposed to be last weekend. And so that's been postponed though until October. I assume everything will be okay by then or okay enough. So, where am I? In many things, it is not well to say, know thyself. It is better to say, know others. Friendship that flows from the heart cannot be frozen by adversity, as the water that flows from the spring cannot congeal in winter.
Hmm.
I like that one.
I like that one too.
Who in his pocket hath no money? In his mouth he must have honey.
What?
Don't
read it
speak
again.
nice. Speak polite. Be nice. Doesn't matter if you have money or not. Yeah, just
Gotcha. Yeah.
guess I had to explain it to you.
All right.
Okay.
Are you done yet? Oh, here we
One
go.
last. One last. Yes. Okay. I will zoom through this one because we're taking a valuable time. George Phillips, an elderly man from Median, Mississippi, was going to bed when his wife told him that he had left the light on in the garden shed, which she could see through the bedroom window. George opened the back door to go turn off the light, but saw that there were people in the shed stealing things.
Oh, no.
He phoned the police, asked if is someone in your house? He said no, but some people are breaking into my garden shed and stealing from me. Then the police dispatcher said, well, all patrols are busy right now. You should lock your doors and an officer will be along when one is available. George said, okay. He hung up the phone, counted to 30, then he phoned the police again. Hello, I just called a few seconds ago because there were people stealing things from my shed. Well, you don't have to worry about them because I just shot and killed them both. The dogs are eating them right now. And he hung up. Within 5 minutes, 6 police cars, a SWAT team, a helicopter, 2 fire trucks, a paramedic, and an ambulance showed up at the Phillips residence and caught the burglars red-handed. One of the policemen said to George, I thought you said that you had shot them. George said, I thought you said there was nobody available. Oops. Oops.
It's all in the storytelling.
I know.
It's all in the telling.
Normally we would have a song right now and people would be singing.
Oh, so let me do There Is a Dream. We'll do that hand sign.
Okay.
So if I can remember.
This is one of our favorite songs by an author that we love, Deneen. If you want
Go
to
online.
go online, check out Deneen. We love her.
Okay. So
She's been here, done a concert at their church for us about 15 years ago, 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Go ahead.
way long time.
Yeah, long time ago.
Okay, so May has been showing us some sign language for this. I've been teaching the neighbor kids. Neighbor kids come over to play with Lila, so they social distancing. They just run her around the yard, and she gets tired, and that's really good for me. So here's There Is a Dream, and it looks like this. There is a dream. You know the little thought bubbles and those little circles that come out of it in a cartoon. Okay, here we go. There is a dream. You're touching those little thought bubbles. In my heart, a vision I do see. It is you soaring higher. It is me. We are free. The chains unlinked. Hearts open wide. It is time to decide to live in the light. I can't get my hand in the light. There we go, in the light. In love to abide. Sing your song to Great Spirit. The song living in your heart. Don't be afraid to hear it. This feeling is where it starts. And then the chorus again. Hearts open wide. It is time to decide to live in the light, in love to abide. The healing power of love, sparkling light of the soul. Take a stand for the future of this earth, the axis of the earth we walk upon, sharing. This is like cutting a sandwich in half. Sharing love, sharing power. So you got to paddle like you're paddling your boat up the stream. Like a boat without a paddle, you don't have any power. So power, sharing power, understanding we all are one. Again, hearts open wide. It's time to decide to live in the light, in love to abide. There's a dream in my heart, a vision I do see. It is you soaring higher. It is me. we are free. Yay. I think I got it. I think I got it.
You got it. Thank you. Actually, you can redo this thing. I'm about ready to disappear and go into the back room so I can see your comments, hopefully.
Yeah, so there may be a bit of a lag time on your comments. That's okay. We'll try to figure it out.
If not, I'll come back up here and stare over your shoulder and read them.
Just don't get your eye
I
too
know,
close.
I know.
Those poor empathic people are
But
cringing.
it's a lot better. It's ton
better. It's better.
So,
Go.
bye.
Goodbye. Oh, Lord. So let's start with a prayer. This is a prayer that I had written some time ago. It's in the prayer book. It's a free book of prayers and gratitudes. You can get it online at thedivinefellowship.com if you would like that. This is the prayer for the world. So if you join me, please. Loving Spirit of light, send more light into the world. Break through the darkness. Uplift those who are faltering and bless those who help. Amplify hope, joy, and love in the highest octave. Help me to do my part, as is right and good. In the name of Jesus, amen. And the gratitude that goes with that. I am grateful for the light of awareness that breaks through the darkness and brings to truth and peace. So I want to share with you today. It's Easter, so we'll be talking about the Jesus thing. I have a different perspective on it than well, I just want to bring a different perspective to it for you, because I think this story starts a long time ago in a land far, far away. So it really starts with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And whether you believe the Genesis story as literal or if it's figurative to you, it doesn't really matter to me, whatever you believe. Uh-oh, Phil. Getting feedback. It really does, whatever you believe is fine, you know. I'm going to have to turn that volume off. We'll get it later. Thanks, Joe. So what happened in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were innocent. And then the whole story of the eating the forbidden fruit, blah, blah, blah. You remember that story, I'm sure. I want you to look at verse 7. You can just turn that off, Joe, and we'll reconnect when we need to. Thank you. Verse 7, after they had eaten the fruit together. Now, I think Eve got a bum rap, just as a side note, because she didn't have to hunt Adam down and say, oh, I'm here, I've got this fruit. He was right there, and he didn't do anything. So anyway, side note. Verse 7, then the eyes of both of them were opened. They became aware. And at that point, they knew they were naked. And they had to make clothes for themselves, blah, blah, blah. And they hid themselves from the presence of the Lord. Well, at that awakening moment, they lost their innocence. And there entered into the world shame and blame and fear. Shame, blame, and fear. And we've been living on that and running on that for all this time, pretty long time, for however long time it's been since then. And here's the thing. The Old Testament was full of thou shalt nots, because it was like teaching a child, no. You know, they're coming into a place of awareness where you don't know what you're doing wrong if you don't know what's right and wrong. And then the New Testament talks more about consequences. Well, how do you talk to a teenager? You say, if you're out past your curfew, there's consequences for that. So we learn about consequences in that regard. But here's what I want you to know. In Luke chapter 23, verse 47, let me get there. Luke 23, 47. This was when Jesus was being crucified, and the centurion took note of that, and he said, the centurion saw what had happened, and he began praising God, saying, certainly This man was innocent. So here is this gateway experience, this gateway moment where innocence was reintroduced into the world. So Jesus was innocent in everything he did. Everything he did because he chose the higher path. He chose what was right and best and good for all, not out of ego, not to make himself look important, but out of love, out of compassion. So he reintroduced innocence. And with that, then you and I have a chance to reclaim our innocence at any time. When we notice that, when we become aware, a lot of times we do stuff and we're not even aware that we're doing that. So here's, when I think of Jesus, I see my path as this rolling hills, and my path is here, and there's lots of other paths along the way, and I don't walk that person's path and they don't walk my path. But here's my path. And I notice that sometimes I get frustrated, and especially with things being in turmoil, and I don't have control. I think I have control, but it's just an illusion. We just pretend we're in control, really. When things are out of my hands, I tend to get a little frustrated or fearful, whatever. And then I remember the path. This is an ascension path. I'm on my way. I'm on the path that Jesus paved for me so that I can get to the higher goal. And as I'm walking this ascension path and I step off and get fearful and look around and look at the world and get all dismayed, then I look back. And here's Jesus standing on the path, hand out. So you forgot who you truly were there for a minute, didn't you? No judgment, no harshness, just love, just Jesus, just love. And I can take his hand and step back on the path and continue my path to ascension. Because with this celebration of Easter and the resurrection of Christ, 40 days from now, which would be May 21st, that's the timing when Jesus ascended. So he's now at the right hand of God. He is now in this place of authority, but he's right here. That's the very cool thing about God. They're omnipresent. They can be everywhere. So he can be with me, and he can be with you. He can be everywhere. So as we're walking our ascension path, our path of awareness, we can walk it with innocence, not ignorance, not because we don't know any better, but out of this desire to do the right thing from our heart space. And when we come from this place of walking with our heart, then we're on this ascension path. If we're walking in shame and blame, regret, bitterness, fear, anger, that's not the ascension path. So when religion sometimes gets a hold of us and tells us that you should be ashamed because Jesus died on the cross, I say hooey to that crap. And what I'm telling you here is it's all about innocence. It's about, this was a gateway experience by where you can reclaim your innocence. And it's not about this horrible experience that Jesus went through, and not to minimize that in any way, shape, or form, but to take a look at it from a new perspective, that it's not about his suffering, it's about the gift beyond the suffering. There's this little, when we do baptisms, we don't do them very often, but when we do, we give people a little token, and let's try to show you this one. See that? We got it in a Catholic bookstore, believe it or not. And it's Jesus, and he's ascended. He's not hooked on that cross. He's not there. Tomb's empty. And he's not stuck on the cross anymore. Stop hanging him up. Stop throwing him back up there, looking at the misery. That's shame, blame, guilt, fear, anger, sorrow, all that stuff. That's not the ascension path. Step off that, wake up, become aware again, and reclaim your innocence. Put your hand in the hand of the man who sailed the water. Put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the seas. Take a look at yourself, and then you can look at others differently. By putting your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. It's about look at yourself from the eyes of innocence. You know, we've all done stupid stuff. And sometimes that stuff we did, we were innocent because we just didn't know any better. And then we knew better. And when we knew better, then now we have all that guilt and the shame that goes with all of that. And sometimes we just did stuff out of just that willful, I want to do it my way stuff. And when we do that, then we have all that regret and the shame and the blame. That's a part of the process, but we don't have to stay stuck in that. This gateway experience of the crucifixion, the burial, and the resurrection grants us the opportunity to reclaim our innocence. Do it. If you're carrying around a big load of shame and blame and fear, let go. You don't have to carry that anymore. It's not a part of who you truly are. Jesus is walking on your path with you with his hand outstretched saying, did you forget who you really were there for a minute? Did you forget the truth of who you are? Well, who are you? Let me share with you the truth of who you really are. There's so much I want to share with you today, and I'm not getting to all of it. Philippians, 2nd chapter. I'm going to start with verse 14. You might want to read the whole thing. It's really cool. Anyway, at your time. Do all things without grumbling or disputing. Oh my goodness, that's a hard one, isn't it? Grumble. Do you remember, what was the old cartoon? The guy with the red beard and dirty frackin' Fritz. Remember what it is? I don't remember his name. Anyway, it was on Bugs Bunny. Do all things without grumbling or disputing. Oh, that's a challenge, is it not? That you may prove yourselves to be blameless and innocent. Innocent. Children of God. Children of God. Let me share with you more. If I can find the more, I marked it. Well, let me share this one with you. This is about Jesus being innocent. For it was fitting that we should have such a high priest, holy, that means Jesus. This is from Hebrews chapter 7. Holy, innocent, undefiled, separated from sinners and exalted above the heavens. He's ascended. He's ascended. And we get to. We are children of light. And I can't seem to find the marking for that one in my book just now. I thought I had marked for you. Let me share this one with you. I apologize. See, I have all these markings in here. See these markings? Well, when I do messages, I do my work, and then I step back and I let God do God's work. And so we're not taking the same turn that I had planned this morning. So that's okay. I just don't have it marked down because this is kind of new and different. So you are children of light. You are children of light. And here in James' 1st chapter, let's go to verse 16. Do not be deceived, my beloved brethren. Okay, so there could be a lie in here. And if following a lie takes us off the path of innocence, takes us out of innocence and back into the shame, blame, regret, all that stuff. Don't be deceived. Pay attention here. This is noteworthy. Every good thing bestowed and every perfect gift is coming down from above, from the Father of lights, in whom there is no variation or shifting of shadow. God is all light all the time, and we are his children. And we have a right to reclaim that innocence because of this gateway experience that Jesus did. So I would like to share with you a guided meditation. Should we do communion first? We didn't set up communion for 4. We'll catch you later. So Mr. Phil, if you want to join me up front. We'll do virtual communion. You know what communion looks like and tastes like, so you can kind of do this virtually.
Obstacle course.
Tripped over the dog, tripped over the table.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
Thank you.
So, in remembering that the sacrificial act that Jesus did. We can remember that, and we can release that and move into a place of, sorry.
Not what I meant.
Have you ever had to try to do communion with a dog in your face? They can't see you, so. So this is really treasure. This is treasure, people. This is about reclaiming your innocence. And you can do that. Just notice, pay attention, pay attention. So let's join me in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, we are so grateful for this opportunity to reclaim our innocence. Bless us. Walk with us. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. So we don't have technical difficulties today.
We have dog difficulties.
Dog difficulties today. She may have to be.
She may be. Excuse
Put her
me.
in your room.
Yeah, I will.
Join us again in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it. Help us to reclaim the innocence that you created for us. That innocence with the expanded awareness of knowing who we truly are. In this, we are truly grateful. Bless us in the name of Jesus. Amen. About this time, we pass baskets, so go to the Divine Fellowship online. There's a donate button if you want to do that. So let me do the guided meditation for now.
I can tell you, these seats are comfortable.
I know.
I never get the chance to sit in these. These are really nice. These are some of the ones we have in the back for people that don't want to go in the pews, traditional pews.
So I had to turn the phone off. It was giving us feedback.
Yeah.
So let
some
me do the
point,
guided meditation,
turn
and
it
then
back
at some point we'll turn that back on.
Yep.
So for our guided meditation,
Nuisance.
take her with you. Take the dog with you. I'm going to walk you through this guided meditation, which is really kind of a process as well as a meditation. And then at the end of that, I'm going to give you an option for receiving a gift. In that opportunity to receive a gift, you can either listen to the list of items and choose one, or you can wait and see which one appears. There's no wrong way of doing that. You can just allow yourself to receive that as you'd like. Her bone is right there. just take her and close the door. I think technical difficulties was easier to handle than the dog. Okay, so for this guided meditation, we're going to use a candle. I'm just going to light the candle. And this process is called wonderment. See my pretty little candle? Often when we get distressed and we fall off our ascension path, the place of expanded awareness, we get caught up in fear. And often fear will demand of us the why question. Why? Why is this happening? What do I do? Why am I suffering in this way? Okay, so, but that keeps us stuck in the shame and the blame and the guilt and all of that sort of thing. However, if we move our mindset into wonderment, then we have a different awareness that expands our awareness, and we can reclaim that innocence. We can get back to that state of being. So here's my little candle, pretty little thing. So I want you just to, for a moment, shift your thinking into wonderment. I wonder how many candles are lit right now in the world. And when you ponder that, you'll notice that your awareness expands. You might have an expansive feeling in your heart space, maybe in your guts, maybe in your mind. Sometimes the back of your head might feel expansive back there. This is all a part of that expanded awareness. So as you're noticing something and you're not judging it, you're in this path of ascension. You're in this expanded awareness and you're in a place of clarity. So I wonder how many candles right now are lit in the whole world? I wonder how many of them are white. I wonder how many of them were lit with a match as opposed to being lit with a lighter. I wonder how many of them are homemade out of beeswax. I wonder how many of them are made out of paraffin. I wonder. See, there's no answer to that, no right or wrong to that. It just is. And we can move into that state of open awareness, that childlike innocence of wondering. And we can expand that wonderment to, now I wonder what it would look like if we could see everyone else's light in their heart. I wonder what that would feel like. I wonder if all of our lights would be different colors. I wonder if some lights shine brighter than others. I wonder. And you can focus on a specific situation in your lifetime, in your life, in your world, in your experience that maybe you don't have an answer for, and you can put a wonderment to it. I wonder what this is all going to sort out to be when things settle down. I wonder what my next step might be. When we move into that state of wonderment, especially I wonder what my next step might be, this allows Divine Source to speak to us, to communicate with us. So I wonder what my ascension path looks like. And allow yourself just to imagine a pathway. It doesn't matter where you come from, but where you're going is to the heavenly realms. You're on your path to ascend. And you might wonder what it would feel like to have Jesus walk that path with you. And you may or may not experience his presence there. Just means he's not there. Just wonder what that would feel like. Wonder what that would be like to walk that path with your best friend, with someone who had your best interests at heart all the time. And you can just wonder that. And if you could wonder that into an experience for yourself, visualize Jesus as you might experience him, standing on your path next to you. And visualize Jesus holding out his hand so you can take his hand. Then you could do so if you'd like. And in his other hand, he's got it closed, and there's an item here for you. And as that he opens his hand, you'll notice the item that is here for you. It's a gift to you for your here and now, to help you on your ascension path, to help you reclaim your innocence, to help you walk the path of truth. So as he opens his hand, what do you see? Do you see a key? Do you see a pearl? Do you see a ladybug? Do you see a diamond? Or do you see stardust? I'll mention those again. Do you see a key? Do you see a pearl? Do you see a ladybug? Do you see a diamond? Or do you see stardust? If you don't see anything, pick one. I'll walk through them again. And you pick one, whatever feels right to you in this moment, knowing that it will have spiritual significance for you. Do you see a key? Do you see a pearl? Do you choose a pearl? Do you choose a ladybug? Do you choose a diamond? Or do you choose stardust? Choose whatever you would like and just put it into your awareness. Maybe you want to hold that in your heart space, put it in your imaginary pocket, whatever you'd like to do. And know that you're going to continue to walk your path with the ascended Christ next to you, who's walking here with you to help you, not to judge you or shame you or blame you, but to help you stay in that state of expansive awareness that includes innocence. So allow yourself to walk back from that path, back into the here and now, back into this time and space. And let's take a look at the symbolism that we received in each of those items. First of all, we're going to take a look at the key. So if you received a key, the energy of this key for you, what did you get, by the way?
Infinity symbol.
An infinity symbol. Okay. So I'll touch base on that. Well, let me just get it now. Apparently I'm getting it now. So the energy of the infinity symbol is your connection with divine presence throughout time. There is no end. It's that continuation of that loving presence all the time, always, without fail. So what a beautiful connection that is. Thanks for sharing. Were you able to receive anything?
Multi-tool.
A multi-tool. Oh gosh. So a multi-tool, you have everything you need for whatever circumstance comes your way. Whatever you need, you got it. So it's a matter of choosing the right tool for the right process. I'm not surprised. So let's go back to the things that came out for me, for you. And if you get something else, just let me know. I'll process it as best I can if I can. All right. So if you received the key, this is letting you know that doors are opening for you right now. Opportunities are coming for you right now. Now, you may be practicing social distancing and you may be practicing staying at home, all that sort of thing. But this is a key to your spiritual awareness, your spiritual sacred path, your ascension path. So keys are coming for you. New opportunities are coming for you to help open the door. So your question for yourself is, what's my next step? And that next step will open for you to lead you into a higher, better pathway. Make sense? The pearl. If you received a pearl has to do with, the Bible talks about the pearl of great price, which is truth. This is knowing the truth of who you are. The truth of who somebody thinks you are or somebody told you you were is baloney, and you can leave that behind you. That's not who you are anymore. The truth of who you are is you are a sacred being of light. You are a precious child of the universe. You are a child of God, and you are loved. Know that truth, and that truth is going to set you free. So walk in that truth. That's your next step in your ascension path. The ladybug. This is the one that I got. I was like, you gave me a ladybug? What's a ladybug got to do with anything? Okay. So the ladybug was really quite hilarious. Ladybugs eat aphids. I don't know if you've ever had a rose bush or not, but if roses are infested with aphids, the rosebud can't open. It can't open. They get all buggered up and the bugs just suck the life out of them. This is symbolic of worry, fretting, stressing. Am I the only one that does that? I don't think so. So the ladybug will eat all that stuff and then the plant can bloom. I don't have to go eat the bugs. Thank goodness. Ew. But the ladybug does it. So this is about allowing divine source, Jesus, higher power, God, all it is, whatever that is for you, let them demolish, destroy, get rid of those frets for you. Notice them. We can stay in that state of innocence and allow the fretting and the worry to just take care of itself. God's got this. God's got this. Which is kind of the theme for me. Every Sunday when I'm doing, or during the week, doing my message, process stuff out, and then I have to let it go and let God do God's work and not fret about it. I fret every time. I'm learning to fret less. So that's a good thing. So that's if you go to ladybug. It's all about letting go of fretting, letting God have it, letting God do God's work. You don't have to do God's work. Let God do that. Then there was the diamond. The diamond is letting you know you've been through tough stuff. It's been hard. But you know what? You have endured, and not just endured, you have become this beautiful gem that now the light comes in and is refracted out. This is not asking you to generate light. This is asking you to let the light shine through you so others can see their path. Not walk your path. It's not about you telling them how to walk their path. It's not about you telling them to walk your path. It's about shining the light so they can see their own path, find their way, find their ascension pathway, find their way back to innocence. Then there was the stardust. If you got stardust, this is about finding a new goal, new hope, new dream, allowing that new dream to cultivate within you. That this is bigger than you. This is your opportunity to shine and your opportunity to be of service in a big way. Does that make sense to you? If there's any other questions, text into Mr. Phil and he can you, Joe, would you hand me the phone? Thank you, sir.
Turn it off.
That's good. We'll just hook right back up again. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Do we have any questions or comments?
We do.
All right.
Lots of people join in. Donna's on here, and Steve, and Jim
Cool.
over in Seattle. I mean, all kinds of
Hey.
people are here. Yeah, it's really nice to see this.
Good to see you.
Brandy got a white feather.
A white feather. This is not uncommon. Excuse me. And there's multiple meanings for white feather, so I'm tapping into what I think that white feather means for you right now. It feels to me as this is letting you know that there is an angelic presence nearby and that you can relax and trust that. Does that make sense to you? Hopefully it does. Anything else?
Dan had a cavalry saber.
A cavalry saber. Oh, okay. So cavalry sabers were generally used for ornamentation. They weren't generally used for battle, but they could be. It was being armed, being prepared. So this is asking you to recognize the preparedness that you've already done. You've done a lot of work, and this preparedness now, you can allow that to be ornamentation because you don't have to re-prepare every day. You just belt that back on and off you go. You're on your path, doing what you need to do, and you're prepared. So the next step can unfold for you. Anything else?
Yep. Crystal says she got a red ruby and something that she thought might have been stardust.
Okay. So the red ruby, is this Crystal Willingham or Crystal?
Yes.
Okay. So
I tried not to name people's last names.
yeah,
but yes.
I got you. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm not surprised with this, Crystal, because the stardust is you being in your path of service, and you already are starting on that. The ruby has to do with following your passion, that passion that you have, things that interest you, things that set you on fire, is how you're going to be of service, how you're going to bring that light into the world to be of service. And you're already doing a lot of that. So this is more of a confirmation for you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. Ginny said she received a cross given to her in childhood, nestled in stardust in her palm.
Oh, okay. So this is about, again, claiming that innocence and being of service, having the ability to serve, but with that clarity of doing it out of compassion and not out of duty and obligation and shame or blame, but doing it because it's in your heart to do. You've been commissioned by a higher source because of this cross. Even as a child, you probably felt that you had a higher purpose here, did you not? And this is confirming for you that you are walking a path of service. So it's asking you to reclaim that or take it on as a calling that you've been called, and you can walk in that. Okay?
June got a white tulip.
A white tulip. Why do I have the song? Tiptoe through the tulips. I don't know.
Oh, please no.
Oh yeah, let's not do that. Okay, so white tulip. Tulips are the first thing that bloom in the spring. Phil and I own the house that my parents had, that my brother had before them. And when they got it, Mom planted tulips everywhere. And they're the first thing to come up in the spring. And this is about remembering or reminding yourself that you can begin again. And the white tulip is about, again, this claiming of innocence. So if there's any blame or shame or fear or regret, it's time to let that go and reclaim that innocence. It's the springtime of your soul. Reawaken to that. Allow that to manifest for you. Okay?
Uh-huh. And Mary just had a comment, said that the diamond was a good fit for her.
Oh, wonderful. Yep, that's for sure, Mary. That's for sure. And that's it for now?
Well, I saw it.
All right. So if there's other questions or comments, I come back and I look at the news feed after this afternoon. So I'll be able to. Hi there.
Hello.
You and the dog are back. Do you want to show the dog just because this nuisance that she is? Come here, Lila. Come here. Lila. Happy Lila. Get down. You do not need a candle. Don't need my Bible. Oh, funny thing about a dog and a Bible story.
Oh,
We were going to tell that story. So years ago, go ahead and tell us your part of the story.
well, just Jan had, it was her mother's Bible. And I mean, it was cherished. She'd had it forever.
That one wasn't my Bible.
Wasn't that
No.
one?
Mm.
Well, it was your Bible then.
It was my
It
Bible.
was your Bible.
I had written in it, marked everything.
Dog-eared. I mean, it was all, and I came home one day and another dog had torn it apart. I mean, it was shredded. It was like, oh my goodness. So I cleaned it up because I didn't want Jan to see it when she got home. I figured that would not be good. But she had an interesting reaction when she
I
came
came
home.
home and here was a sack,
Oh,
brown paper sack, brown paper bag on the kitchen table. And I said, what's this? And he said, I'm sorry to say that Baxter shredded your Bible. It's your Bible. And there it is. And I thought, oh, what a wonderful thing. Because I had a vision. I'll show you the vision in a minute. But the vision had taught me that the way I had been looking at the Bible was through the eyes of darkness, the eyes of fear and shame and guilt and regret and blame and all that stuff. And that it was time for me to take a new look. So having that Bible shredded was my sign that I got to start over and look at it again. So the Bible I have now, I have pretty much thrashed it. As you can see, it's pretty, anyway.
well used.
This one belonged to Grandma Montgomery. So when she passed away, it got handed down to me. So so I'm still using it. She hardly marked in it. She had only a couple of things. And I have marked in this one a lot differently with a different focus. So the vision that I had was going into a teepee. Well, it started out, I was sitting in bed in the house on Okanagan. Was it Okanagan that had the pond?
Yeah.
And so I could hear the pond outside and was looking at the trees. And as just sitting there, Phil had brought me a cup of coffee. And I'm sitting there in bed, just kind of enjoying the morning. And all of a sudden, I wasn't there anymore. I was in this huge teepee. Do something with your dog. And never again. She's not coming to church again. So
Go ahead.
in walks Eagle Grandfather. And he told me his name was Eagle Grandfather. It was this Native American elder, had the full headdress on. Native Americans, in their culture, eagle represents Great Spirit, Creator. So this represented God to me. Whether God really spoke to me or not, I don't know, but that was a symbolism that was there. And he had a Bible, and he opened the Bible, and he said, if you look at this Bible, if you look at this with the eyes of darkness, you'll see darkness. And his eyes got really dark. He said, if you look at this with the eyes of light, you'll see light. And his eyes turned to light. The Bible itself turned to light. The words on the page turned to light. They lifted off the page, floated across and came into my body, living light into my body. And so it was after that vision that the old Bible got shredded, and it was like, oh, I get to look at things from a whole different perspective now, from the eyes of light. And things have looked very different to me since then. So that's the journey of my story with the Bible. And thank goodness for Baxter being a brat and shredding that Bible.
Yeah, Delilah, don't be a brat.
No, don't.
No more than
Don't
you
do
are.
that. No.
So.
Well, I think that's it.
Yep, I
Mr.
think we did it.
Phil.
I think we did it. Another Easter done. Yay!
Yay! Glory, hallelujah. Remember, if you want to go to the Facebook, the website, we've got a couple of free ebooks for you: Banishing Fear, the Prayers and Gratitude book, the Empowered Empath. If you want to look about being an empath, that's on the. I think that's a free one on the website too. So if you have any questions, just write them down and I'll get to them before the end of the day. Thank you again for joining us. God bless.
Many blessings.